What is up, everybody? Welcome back. If you're as excited for New Comic Book Day as I am, you are in the right spot. Buckle up, hit that subscribe button, leave some comments down below on what your picks of the week were, and let's get ready to go over this week's books. Stay tuned. Once again, welcome back, everybody. Happy New Comic Book Day. And like I said, if you're excited for New Comic Book Day as I am, you're in the right spot. Hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for when we're dropping content. We're going to hit up this live chat tonight. We're going to go over some books, do a couple of quick announcements. I cannot wait to hang out with you guys tonight. How is everybody tonight? In fact, let's greet everybody rolling in the door here. The burly Irishman is in the house. What's up, peoples? Just sitting here waiting to ogle Andy's busted package. Oh, contraire. No busted packages on Wednesday night. Just nothing but good reads and good books. But yes, stay tuned on Mondays for the package event, right? Paul Dunn's in the house. What is good, man? How are you? KO, great to see you. I didn't even know it was Wednesday. Yeah, this week is like blinking. Like I'm blinking and it's gone. All of a sudden, it's Wednesday already. I thankfully was able to budget time to read my books today. Surprise, let the show begin. Yeah, rolling a minute early instead of keeping people waiting. I just, something about me always wants to be punctual on the dot when it hits the 0 point, but I'm like, it really doesn't need to be like that. But hey, we are here, we're rolling, we are live. Paul Dunn says, good to see you, Irishman. Josh, welcome, buddy. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Howdy, y'all. He says, Daywalker's in the house. Well, hello there. Absolutely. Good to see you, man. You too. Mishu Seaman, or Mihu Seaman. Mark, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Yeah, and I'll see you tomorrow. Michael, good to see you. What's up, guys? Thanks for being here, man. House of L Comics, did you get a Dark Knights of Steel? I did not. And I feel like I'm just going to end up being Don's whipping boy every week because I forget to grab I'm sorry, man. Don, welcome to the chat. Welcome to tonight's show. Yes, Burly Irishman's still in here. Hey, freaking Star Wars this week. Had to get a loan to get him. So I'm actually very proud of myself for doing some trimming, yet still picking up the Star Wars books that I wanted to pick up. Luke's Comics is in the house tonight. Station Comic people, what is good, brother? Thanks for being here and good to see you. If you guys don't know Luke's Comics, make sure you check out his channel and his unboxings. He tends to get some ComicManAndy boxes once in a while. It's kind of fun too. But yeah, don't forget to check out Solo Wookie. Tales from the Flip Side when he's on that area. Everybody here that has YouTube channels, be sure to drop your links and shout them out. And everybody that's moderating tonight, if you can help moderate and throw links around to show the channel locations for other people. But let's start diving into these books, right? You guys are all here. We don't want to wait too long. Let's get into these books. So New Comic Book Day does not necessarily equal DC Comics down here in the Comic Dojo. Once again, I forgot to really check out DC books. Zuni is in the chat. Little fist bump action for Wednesday. Good to see you, buddy. Happy New Comic Book Day. Come on, Mama. Thanks for being here. Dark Knight Steel was the best read of the week for me. I'm probably going to have to read that digitally then. So yes, there are no DC books this week, and that's just kind of been a trend. And I feel like maybe I need to dip my toes back into DC here soon, because I'm starting to notice that I'm working myself into this rabbit hole of reads that mostly indie and mostly Star Wars. So the goal of this Wednesday show is not only to talk about New Comic Book Day, but also broaden my horizons and see what you guys are sharing and what you guys are reading. So it's probably time to start looking at getting back into DC books, and I'll probably read the Dark Knights of Steel by digitally for now. Nick the Comic Nerd, welcome, buddy. Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Shop for Comics is in the house. Hey, Comic Fam, good to see you. Thanks for being here. So like I said, no DC books. So we're going to roll right into Marvel, and book number 1 from Marvel, Bounty Hunters number 17. War of the Bounty Hunters, the crossover event, is still going. I still have kind of mixed feelings about this crossover and the depth and layering or quality of the story itself. Like I feel like I want more. I feel like there could have been a lot more in certain areas. But anyways, this was a fun, action-packed read. I really actually enjoyed this issue this week. So kind of looking forward, because we're getting to the end of this crossover. We're getting into this tie-over. They can't seriously have that much more to go on. I mean, without spoiling too much, the reason why War of the Bounty Hunters started, that event has technically come full circle. So spoiler free, trying not to do any spoilers here, but if you've been reading the series, you can't imagine there's going to be that much more beyond this or the next issue. I can't remember how long it's going to be, but that means that if War of the Bounty Hunters is coming to an end, that's going to free up a lot of books in my weekly budget to pick up. So I'm thinking some DC reads coming up. Really need to broaden my horizons and get into some other books. So we did get the full plethora of War of the Bounty Hunters books, the black and white variant. I just feel like at this point I'm trying to be a completionist with War of the Bounty Hunters. And I know better than to overdo it on books, but I'm there. It's 20% off of cover price. I'm like, I ordered it. I should probably pay for it. UBU, Andy, that just try to tell some good books I love. Yes, I love being me. I love being original. I love being who I am. But the idea really about being here on YouTube on this platform and talking about comic books is not only about being me, but also about growing myself and broadening my horizons on different reads. And if I don't read different books, if I don't branch out, how will I ever grow as a reader and as a person? You know what I mean? It's kind of where I'm at right there. And I don't want to get stuck into certain avenues and never end up growing as a person or as a human being, so to speak. Because wait, spoiler alerts, I might be an alien. Ooh, hey. If you want a reading that's going to hit the nostalgia feels, maybe read that Superman 78. Interesting. Maybe we look into that for modern men too. Either way, still, book number 3, about War of the Bounty Hunters. I'm kind of digging. I just because I didn't buy all of the Star Wars variants for Star Wars and Darth Vader and Bounty Hunters. Bounty Hunters was the only one that I was picking up all covers and all variants. Darth Vader and Star Wars, I was just picking up the variants as I saw fit. So I missed out on a few of these. But this is actually really cool. It's like the backside of the playing card, or the backside of the action figure variant, or something like that. I just didn't do any research. I'm kind of digging these. I really like, at a glance, to be able to get a little bit of history and a little bit of information about characters that don't have like a really long lifetime or history with of reading. You know what I mean? Especially some of the bounty hunter stuff. These were bigger before me, and really when I was buying books in the 90s, well, let's be honest, we were buying a lot of Image and Marvel, right? Or at least me. Oh my God, I'm still buying pretty much mostly Image and Marvel. Holy crap. So that variant's there. And, I couldn't pass up the Lucasfilm 50th variant for Rebels here. Very cool cover. I almost ordered more because I was actually digging this and thought this could be a really good cover to get graded. Some people just don't dig the gold borders. I don't mind it. I like it. I almost feel like I get it, but without that gold border and then just the little bits of trade down here and up top, it would have been even more stellar in my opinion. I'll hit up this chat here in just a little bit. Let's get through some of these books. I have an announcement to make, and that means this show is going to be a little bit more condensed. It's not going to be the full hour tonight, so I'm going to keep pushing through some books. Then I'll get to the full chat read through. Then we'll do the announcements, and if we've got time, we'll do another quick recap of books for people just showing up, because we are appearing on another platform with another great friend, and that's in less than an hour coming up. So we got Star Wars 18. Now, I did enjoy this read, kind of like a girls' night out, so to speak, on the Millennium Falcon. They're going back and forth a little bit. Going to be interesting to see where they really tie this up and really what kind of happens. But there it is. This is now when we're talking crossover events, I'm not reading the same story from different perspectives, which is nice because you guys remember several months ago or a month ago or 2 months ago or 3 months ago, it felt like at the Afra book, the Star Wars book, the Bounty Hunters book, like 3 or 4 books. It felt like they were all in the same room telling the exact same story. And I'm like, Marvel, why am I buying 4 copies of the same damn story? It's like, it's just going to get me really lit and get me really irritated again just thinking about it. It's like, that's just a cash grab or a lack of creative oversight, if you will. I don't know. I'm not a professional comic book creator. I just know that it's really irritating when I go to read 4 different stories and I get the same story in 4 different books. And it's like, I get a crossover event, tie-in. Things are going to mingle. Things are going to take a dance on the dance floor a little bit. And, there's going to be some kerfuffle here and scuffles. But for the love of God, I shouldn't be reading the exact same story from just 3 different perspectives or 4 different perspectives in the same room. Rant over. Moving on. I could not pass up this Lucas 50th anniversary variant because, yeah, I love Chopper. And Chopper's right on the cover there. And Chopper's really like my Star Wars love as of the last couple of years. So there was 2 more copies of this still on the shelf of my LCS, and I wanted all of them. One was damaged pretty bad. It had a tear in it, and the other one, I'm just like, you know what? This one looks really crispy, really clean. Let me leave this for somebody else to grab. I really like this cover. I wasn't going to let that sit. I have not been picking up the Star Wars variants, but I couldn't leave this cover behind. It's like the Ahsoka Tano and Anakin cover 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I actually ordered more of those because of how much we love Ahsoka Tano. But moving right along, I will hit up this chat just a little bit. Everybody buckle up, stay tuned. We're on double speed, double time. Yes, we're on double time. Moving from Marvel on over to Image. Primordial 2 is out, and you want to talk full 100% head trip here. Jeff Lemire and Sorrentino are doing exactly what I hope they would do, and they're making me think, and they're making me think real hard, and they're telling a story with art as much as they are with words. And I'm actually getting goosebumps talking about Primordial because I want to go back and read this 3 or 4 more times. I know I missed several things. If you've read Primordial today, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you've read Gideon Falls in the past, you know exactly what to expect from this creative team, and this is going to be a fantastic head trip. And I was hoping it was going to be, and it is playing out to be an amazing head trip. So Lemire and Sorrentino, I'm terrible with names, are killing it with this, in my opinion. I am very excited to see the next issue. If you're looking for a very, very dialogue heavy read, this is not for you. This is definitely not dialogue heavy. This is going to be a quicker read, but what's going to happen is when you get done with it, you're going to be like, let's see. Something's not quite adding up. Let me read it again. And then you're going to read it again. And then you're going to read it again. And this was an excellent read, in my opinion. Yes, Paul Dunn, I'm with you. This was an excellent read this week. And there's something about this week and like red covers, like almost solid red covers. I am very interested to see where this goes, but this creative team continues to wow me. Primordial aside, just this creative team at the top is in my top 2 or 3 creative teams when it comes to reading comic books. Lemire and Sorrentino are absolutely killing it on this. So moving along, I could talk about this book for another 10 minutes. I could pop this thing open and talk about it for 10 minutes, but this is a new comic book day spoiler-free kind of review. We're bringing energy and we're receiving energy, and hopefully you guys are doing really good today because it is definitely a godforsaken Wednesday. It is definitely a hump day. Sticking with Image still. The Me You Love in the Dark. Now, I was really worried that this was going to be a sappy love story, kind of ghosty. It is. A bit of it was. This starts to get creepy, starts to get weird, and starts to get. I cannot wait for the next issue. So, this is issue 4. So, in the span of 4 issues, we've seen about a year of this character's life and living in this house, right? Well, not right. It's been about a year. We've seen that much time pass with the character and with the entity, if you will, of the house and living in the house. And things are getting really, really freaking creepy and really weird. And you're like, you find yourself cheering for that person, like, run away, or no, don't do that, or wait a minute, stop. Notebook with ghosts. Yes, solo Wookiee, notebook with ghosts. A bit. But you find yourself cheering for the characters, like you're making the wrong decision. You need to do something different. Hang up the phone and run away, or get out of that house. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. So I found myself really, really kind of pumped in the middle of this read, thinking like, I didn't have high hopes for this. This is Scotty Young's turning me around on this. I can't wait to see what happens with this next issue. This is going to be. It's gonna be a fun ride. He's throwing us for a twist. Speaking of twists that I didn't talk about, there's a Star Wars twist I did not bring up in 18 that I will bring up on the recap here. So buckle up, hang tight. We'll get back to that. So Newburn #1 is out, and there's a few people that talked about this, and Dank Comics talked about it, and I had realized when I received my email from my LCS, I actually pre-ordered it from Previews Magazine because of it's a Chip Zdarsky read. I'm, really digging Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil, so I wanted to check this out. This might not be my cup of tea, so to speak. And it might not be my slice of the pie. I can't remember exactly what this compares to in my head, not off the top of my head. I'm going to go back and read it again and give it another shot. I'm not going to spoil it, but this is, if you are a fan of Brubaker, you're going to like this. This is kind of where my head's at. And I do not dislike what Brubaker does, but what Brubaker does isn't necessarily my slice of the pie. So I don't buy a ton of Brubaker stuff, right? I don't read a ton of Brubaker stuff. Hey, that's the name of the game. You don't have to like 100% of everything. You find what you love, and then you love what you find, so to speak. So I'm going to give this another shot and reread it a couple of times. Probably not going to keep it on my pull list unless I find more about it that it interests me, really. I gave it a shot because it had Chip Zdarsky's name on it, because Zdarsky was fantastic on Daredevil and some of the other stuff that I've read. But yeah, this might be a little more layered and heavy than really kind of what I was looking for. I think that's where I'm going to leave that one, actually. So moving right along, we got 2 more books, and I'll say it once again, and I'll say it every time it comes out. Walking Dead Deluxe is a fantastic another journey, or revisiting a journey through that Walking Dead issue to issue series as they come out. And I'll say it every time. I'm really digging the opportunity to be able to pick this up as every issue comes out and relive this experience, but in full color. And it's only 2 extra issues a month. And with, if your LCS is giving you a discount and you're not paying cover price, it's not that much more money to add this. And sure, it's going to be another short box in the collection somewhere. It's going to be another 104, or wait, no, not 104. What am I thinking? It's going to be quite a few number of issues, almost 200 issues. But it's about the journey, right? And I love being able to relive this journey in full color. So this is the issue. Obviously, you can see on the cover where they notice a helicopter at the very beginning. Then there's a helicopter. The helicopter crashes, and they journey to go find out what happens with the helicopter, only to realize that they are not the first people to get there. So that means there's more people in the area closer than what they thought. Ooh, so it's going to be pretty good going forward. Like I said, The Walking Dead is I'm loving reliving that journey, so to speak. Last book up. This is seriously the last book up. Mark Guggenheim's Last Flight Out, number 3. Like I said, something about red covers this week. Last Flight Out is what I think is going to be a fantastic miniseries of a journey into a world that is potentially ending, and people that are panicking and scattering, and they've created a number of spaceships to leave the planet to try to find it and colonize a new planet. And literally, this is the last flight out. And the scientist, the creator of all these spaceships that has spent his entire life building these to save the world, never spent his time being a dad. So he raised his daughter. He never raised his daughter. His daughter was raised by nannies and carekeepers and hired people. And so that connection was never really made. And now he's fighting to find her, to get her back so that she can get, or a ticket, not a ticket, but she can be on the last flight out, so to speak. He can save her. Issue 3, he finds her in like a war-torn kind of dictatorship area. Like literally think, not dictator, I'm trying to think, warlords. Yes, it's like a warlord runs Chicago, and she's hiding in a lab, still doing the studies that she's been doing. And he finally finds her, and it's time to go. But wait, there's strings attached. Of course, there are strings attached. There's a little bit of drama here. Last Flight Out from Mark Guggenheim. Oh, my bad, Mark. Last Flight Out from Mark Guggenheim had been a lot of fun. Has been a great journey. I cannot wait to see where the rest of this goes. The interesting side of this thing is I think there's a lot to tell here in this story that it's going to be really tough to do in 3 more issues, because I think it's a 6-issue miniseries. So I think it's going to be really tough to do that. So that's the last book. We're going to hit up this chat really quick here. Going to go over a couple of announcements, and then we're going to do a recap for people that are showing up late. So thank you, everybody that's been here and hanging out. Like I said, we're rapid firing here real quick because we are on a timetable tonight, because I'm making an appearance on another platform, and that's announcement number 1 is at 9:30 tonight. So now, just under an hour, actually. Strange Tales to Collect. Adam is doing a Whatnot sale on Whatnot, and he's doing a seller spotlight, or a seller highlight. He's going to have me on to sit and hang out for about half an hour during his live auction, and we're going to talk about him, and we're going to talk about me and what I have going on other platforms and social media and YouTube and Whatnot, and the Whatnot sales that are going on, which leads into announcement number 2, is I was going to try to go for a Whatnot auction this Friday. I might still try to do a small pop-up auction of 10 or 15 items, because I've been missing the Whatnot game, but seriously, there's a lot of traveling going on, a lot of con action going on that's absolutely rejuvenated me being able to go to Motor City and go to Baltimore and do all this other stuff. So I've been a little laxing. So now it's time to get back onto the Whatnot platform and be there, either offering books or throwing books out there. We'll see what happens. Got to make room for all the new books that I'm bringing back and bringing into the collection, because announcement number 3 is there is a CGC box being delivered tomorrow, which means we're going to have to do a CGC unboxing here real soon. That might be the next mail call Monday. We might do a CGC box unboxing there. There are 10 books. There's some major keys in there. There's an Marvel Team Up 141 that I think has a great shot at a 9.8, which turns that 9.8 to that book are like over $1,000, I think. Scored that from a local LCS in West Michigan for like $80, I think. I digress. There are some great, fantastic pickups in there. My favorite part of this CGC unboxing that's coming up is there are 2 Punisher books from the early portion of Volume 2. They're strictly just for my CGC registry collection that I hunted and found, and both of those have real good shots at 9.8. One of which is Punisher number 21, Volume 2, and it's where Frank Castle's in the boxing ring, and it's mostly a black cover, and it's notoriously difficult to get in a 9.8. It's been really hard. And I've never found one for sale online anywhere. So when I found a copy that I think could make a 9.8, I'm really looking forward to seeing if that comes back in a 9.8. There's a couple of Something Is Killing the Children books. So we got a couple of moderns. Well, they're technically all moderns, considering that the modern age has been the last 40 years. For God's sakes, we got to do something about that. But it's going to be a great CGC unboxing of 10 books. I'm going to probably do it live. I really kind of like what Skeff does, where he records them and drops them and whatnot, and people can get a little bit more condensed unboxing. But I really love spending time here with the community and doing live unboxings and live shows where you guys have no idea how much you re-energize me every week when we do these shows. You really do. Hopefully you guys get some really good energy out of this. So leave comments down below if you guys have any feedback. But yeah, let's hit up this chat. So we were at you were hearing that. Yep. Hello, mama. Bro, I need to know, what is your favorite DC hero? I feel like I'd never see. So DC's a tough thing for me. DC was not a big sell when I was growing up in the 80s. Like, DC books just weren't on the spinner racks as much as Marvel. And then when you kind of get your own money and you kind of get your own little job and chores, the indie books, Image was big in the early 90s. So then my mind and my attention was always being diverted to either Marvel or Image or indie books. So DC, I don't have a lot of history of. But who's my favorite DC hero? Honestly, if I've got to pick one DC hero to be my favorite, it's going to be Batman, because of the Batman reads that we've done, like Dark Knight Returns and some of the other stuff on the Court of Owls on Modern Men. Those were fantastic DC superhero reads. I just, no more Pearl dropping, you know what I mean? It's whatever. But Batman's got to be my DC superhero pick for me, because some of the reads we've done on Modern Men have been fantastic in other places. So we're continuing on here. What up, Andy? Good day to you, buddy. Josh G, good to see you once again. Like I was saying, hope to see you on Whatnot here soon. I got to get back into the routine of the Friday night Whatnot auctions going on there, now that we've been to Baltimore and back and Motor City and all this other crazy stuff. Because that last announcement is C2E2 is going down in December. We are locked and we are loaded for C2E2. I cannot wait for that. It's going to be exciting. So yes, we'll finish this chat, recap the books really fast, and then we'll do a couple more announcements, because I'm actually thinking of more things as we're going here. The Comic Book Principal, good to see you. Thanks for being here. What's up, everybody? I know I'm way behind on the chat, but I dropped all DC books. Wife hasn't. Interesting. Because that's what maybe I should just drop my Star Wars books, because my wife isn't going to drop her Star Wars books. She's still reading War of the Bounty Hunters and everything else pretty much, but yes, you will be, Andy. Just try to tell some good books I love. Yes, absolutely, man. If you want a read that's actually, you know what, I just did. Let me jump forward a little bit. They're going to roll it into Crimson Dawn story. So War of the Bounty Hunter into Crimson Dawn. Okay, I think I'm going to trim back my Star Wars books going into Crimson Dawn. I think I'll keep grabbing a few. I'll worry about that later. Oliver, good to see you. Grow, Andy, grow. Thank you very much. Thanks for being here and being a part of the channel every week, man. Picked up 2 House of Slaughter, 1 per store variants. So you know what? That is nuts, Comic Book Principal, because I walked into my LCS today and there is still a 1 in 500 there available. and there's a 1 per store variant there available, but I didn't think to bring any money with me, extra money. I might go back for those because I really want to get those graded. The 1 in 500 and the 1 per store variant have been pretty hot, and there is one of the red foil. The red foil was the Sheehan variant, is doing pretty well. Is also 1 per store variants at my house says for cover price. The fact that you were able to get those for cover price is just phenomenally stellar. Just like my English apparently tonight. Either way, it's not money. It's Wednesday. We're rolling with it. Holy moly. Which channel? I'll find that out in a second here. Superman 78 was good this week. Is Modern Men on? So Modern Men is on the Comic Core. Modern Men drops. It's going to be on Monday nights that it drops, but Modern Men isn't going to be live this year. Modern Men is going to be pre-recorded this season. Drew and Carson have stepped up their editing game. Excuse me. And the editing has been phenomenal coming from those guys over on Comic Core. So Modern Men, we record when we get the chance. I think we're actually going to record a read for Department of Truth tomorrow night to add up. I think we've got like 3 shows in the barrel, so to speak, or 3 shows in the chamber or magazine. Andy's losing it already. So we've got some pre-recordings done so that we can drop some content. So if we've got to take a week or 2 break, we can and still drop content over there. So that is, look up the Comic Core. You can find them there, and Modern Men drops every Monday night there. Come on, Mama. Comic Corpse, Luke. Absolutely. After I read Last Flight Out today, I'm sad to say I think my favorite read this past week has been. So yeah, and I neglected to put Moon Knight on my pull list, but I've just been grabbing it every time I've seen it. But last week, Moon Knight was out, and there was so many House of Slaughter books out that I just couldn't pick up any extra reads. So I'm going to have to get back to that later. Read Target Vader, and it will explain Valance pretty quick. And go, hey, Solo Wookie, thank you for that tip, because Valance is something that I don't have a lot of history with him, but it was good to actually get to know him more during War of the Bounty Hunters. Like the Crimson Dawn, so I'm excited about this new story. Hey, Mom, good to see you. Thanks for being here. We're rapid firing right through this for everybody that's still here hanging out. And we'll recap the books for the people that are just showing up, and we'll go over the announcements again one more time. They gave it a nice old school trading card look with a gold border. Thank you. That's kind of where my head was at, because I thought that was very complementary to the trading card or the action figure variants that they were doing. And then the variants that have all the information on the back. Like, I feel like those are the back of the trading cards or the back of the action figure variants. So kind of neat. But yes, thank you, Come On Mama, for dropping the Comic Core link. There it is for those of you guys that have not subscribed to the Comic Core. Please do. Lots of great content over there. Modern Men on Monday nights. Wednesday night, hopefully we make an appearance back there for that hilarious comedy show. And they do a Friday night show. And Tuesday night, probably one of the most informative and most important shows on YouTube when it comes to comic books is Golden Guys on Tuesday nights. You can learn a ton of information about Golden Age comic books there on Golden Guys, so don't miss that on Tuesday nights at 10 p.m. Catch them on the replay if you can't stay up that late. Yes, hi, Andy's mom. Thanks for being here. If you guys had any idea at all of his comic book searches when he was young, thanks, Mom. Like, I rode the living bejesus out of the tires on that bike to the comic book store all the time, and it just became a thing, and I'm happy that I'm at a point in my life that I can return to that passion and that energy, because it definitely helps with stress management and getting through everything that is adult related, right? Well, I just spit all over my mic. But yeah, Star Wars has been a really big cash grab. Yeah, I agree with that, but in the same fashion, I'm like, if I'm buying, I got to reevaluate what I'm doing, because if I'm not having fun, I need to reevaluate what I'm doing. In the Star Wars books, I'm enjoying reading them, but I'm not having fun with how many that they're putting out. So I got to reevaluate that. So thank you, Josh G. Yes, the great Rebels cover. I love Star Wars. I love money more. I agree with you, especially when we're trying to hunt some Mega Grail books. The Comic Dojo and the CEO of the Comic Dojo, we've been working to hunt some Mega Grail books, and we're trying to. So that means I've got to trim back on some areas on the comic budget. Wednesday's probably going to be one of those things. But that means I'll be picking up some DC books, but I don't pick up DC variants. Just pick up like cover A's, so to speak. So yes, he dies in the end. I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't read past 2. I'm not going to keep going. I don't want to spoil anything. I'm behind 2, Paul. So yes. What species of spider is friendly with all the vendors and live in their HQ? Oh, God bless America. I walked right into that one, just like the Black Widow. Holy moly. Mitch Joel is in the chat. Good to see, man. Thanks for being here. Wait, drop that Punisher book volume number 2 again. So Punisher volume 2, number 21 and number 22. Number 21 is the one where it's mostly black, if I remember correctly, and he's in the boxing ring with boxing gloves about to duke it out. And it's just a great first-person view of who he's going to box with. And the book has been really, really tough to get in high grade. And I've got the copy is coming tomorrow from CGC, and it has a good shot at hitting a 9.8. I'm going to be through the moon if it does, because that is for the registry collection, which means I've closed up gaps. So issues 1 through like 30, I should have by the end of this week or next week. I should have those closed out for the registry collection. I've reevaluated working on that registry collection too, and I've been buying 9.6s, very affordable 9.6s, mind you, for that, so that I can fill in those gaps, because it's tough finding raw books and high enough grade to make 9.8 when they go out. So I'm finding a lot of 9.6 newsstands of Punisher Volume 2, when I feel like those are underappreciated, because newsstands were in high grade or tough to find in that book to begin with. But both of their last names are strange. But oh no. What does the actor Benedict Cumberbatch have in common with his Marvel character? Yeah, both of their last names are strange. This is correct. That's a good one, man. That is a good one. What species of spider? Yes, we did get to that one. So I'm bouncing all over the chat right now. I say he dies in the end for everything interesting. Doesn't matter what it is. Technically, you're not wrong, Paul. Okay, so we're caught up with the chat. If I've missed you guys, I apologize. There was several big chat jumps while we were going tonight. We are going to do a couple more announcements really quick, and then we're going to quick recap the books and close out, because I've got to be ready in 15 minutes to be over with Adam's Strange Tales to Collect on the Whatnot app for his show and his seller interview / highlight. So let's see what we got here. Don Davis, I just got another 8 from CGC besides. Oh, very cool, man. I cannot wait to do another CGC unboxing and be surprised on the grades. 2 of the unlocked retailer Jenny Frizen covers for Something is Killing the Children, 2 Punisher books, the Marvel Team Up 141. So there's 5. There's half the books I can remember off the top of my head. So we got a great little mix, right? I got a great little mix of some keys and then just some hot fire modern books that I love to collect. So announcements, once again, like we talked about tonight, 9:30, in half an hour, go onto the Whatnot app. If you don't have the Whatnot app downloaded, please at least give it a shot and try it out. Look for Strange Tales to Collect. Adam is going to be doing a sale at 9:30 tonight. I'm going to bounce in there, and we're going to dual screen that. So he's going to do an interview while he's selling some books, and we're going to talk about what I have going on social media, what he has going on as far as the Whatnot app and everything like that. Update number 2. I'm going to try to get back into that groove of the Friday Whatnot auctions. I don't know if I can get it done fast enough this Friday, because Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday have been bonkers crazy for me and the family here. So we're going to still try. Maybe I do a small 10 or 15 book pop-up auction on Friday just to make a presence and be there and say hi, because I really miss Friday night. It's a party down in the dojo on Friday nights on the Whatnot app, and I've missed that, and I can't wait to get back into that. So then that rolls into potentially on this next month, December. C2E2 is going down. We are locked. We are loaded. We are ready to go to C2E2. And I'm really excited. My hope is that Whatnot is able to make appearance at that convention, because I think it's just going to be a monster party with the Whatnot crew over in C2E2. I think that's going to be a blast. And I'm very excited as I have purchased my first ever gimbal for smartphone, and I'm still editing the footage and putting together the footage for Motor City in Baltimore. And it doesn't look bad. It's probably not anywhere near as exciting of footage as I had hoped it would be, because of the fact that I was more focused on doing walkthroughs so people could see and compare the convention floor space and compare aisles and dealers and everything that was going on. But it should still be some fun content, even if it's only a 5 or 10 minute video. But for C2E2, I'm really excited because we got our first ever smartphone gimbal, and these things are way more affordable. I thought gimbals were like $500, $600, $700. This is a very affordable smartphone gimbal. DJ, I don't know the name. If you guys are interested in knowing about it, please hit me up and I'll let you know. But these are way more affordable than you think, easily powered, and literally just everything packs into a tiny little bag that can go in my backpack. So I'm looking to get some really cool recorded content for C2E2. That's going to be a blast. That is going to be a lot of fun. What's left? That CGC box is coming tomorrow. Let's do a quick recap of the books before we close it out here. It is already after 9, so we've been already going for 30 some odd minutes. Smack that like button. Thank you, Paul Dunn. Please consider hitting that subscribe button. Consider it. Just hit the subscribe button. You're not going to want to miss out on this energy, and I'm not going to want to miss out on your energy. So make sure you're hitting that subscribe button and hanging out. for every Monday and every Wednesday at a minimum going live. And then the edited content I'm working to drop on Tuesday or Thursdays and Fridays. Simpleman's Comics News Weekly is every Tuesday night. I help produce that show over there and hang out with those guys. Dank Comics, Blue Green Artifacts, Indie Spotlight, Brian, obviously on his own channel. And who else is over there? McClay. How did I forget McClay? McClay is always over there every week as a mainstay, as just a fun group of people there every Tuesday. Let's hit up these books really quick on the recap. Can't wait to see Chip, man. I pray to God that everybody that goes to C2E2 looks for me and says something like, hey, how's it going, Andy? Because that's like the whole point to go to a convention. I can search for comic books online never endingly. I could never sleep and search comic books online, but it's nowhere near as fun as flipping through a few long boxes and then running into all you fantastic people at a convention. So that's my experience that I want to go. Just do it. Nice gimbal. Planet Arizona Comics, thanks for being here. If you guys are interested in finding out what this is, shoot me a message on IG and I'll tell you what it is. I think it was like $150, and then I got a discount for a first-time buyer. And it's literally, you magnetize your phone. It comes with the little comes with the clip. It goes right on here. You turn it on and it does everything for you, and you just got to figure out like 3 buttons, and it's actually really cool, really convenient. C2E2 is not far away. We're what, 6 weeks away? I'm pumped. I am really pumped. I cannot wait. That dude is awesome. He's my favorite guy in Tales from the Flip Side. McClay is dope. I love all those Flip Side people and hanging out with them. In fact, I'm hoping to make some appearances on Flip Side as my schedule allows. I know some of the content that I drop kind of drops just before Flip Side, so the scheduling doesn't quite line up for me a lot of the times. But you know, that Modern Playbook, hope to be on there a couple of times. The Dealer Flip Side, that's always a really, really fun show. Actually, I hate having to watch it on the replay sometimes because the live show is so much more fun. Recapping books right now, and then we'll say good night to everybody in a little bit here. Last Flight Out, 3 of 6. It is going to be really tough for them to pack as much stories that they're going to need to in the last 3 issues, but I've been enjoying this quite a bit. And catch the replay of this show if you want a little bit more information on the issue, but you don't want to miss Mark Guggenheim's Last Flight Out. I'm having fun with that one. We've got The Walking Dead Deluxe. Like, I will always enjoy picking this up and watching this, rereading this on kind of the replay, so to speak, because this is essentially a replay in full color. And I'm really digging reliving that experience issue to issue instead of just buying trades or buying an omnibus or buying a hardcover. I really kind of like that issue to issue pickup at the LCS. You know what I mean? So then we've got Newburn, and I picked this up and added this to the pull list from previews because it had Chip Zdarsky's name on it. Don't think this is quite my cup of tea. That doesn't mean it's not bad, or it doesn't mean it's not great comic book work here. It's Chip Zdarsky. Come on. There's got to be a gem in here. I'm going to try to reread it again. If you like Brubaker, this is going to be right up your alley. So we'll see. Maybe I reread it again and I rethink that and add it to the pull list. But Primordial 2 is exactly the head trip. That you would expect from Lemire and Sorrentino. And I get goosebumps thinking about how I'm going to have to reread this. I love what they do. The amount of story that they tell in art has me constantly rereading their books. That's the type of creative team they are, and that's why I really enjoy them. So the Me You Love in the Dark, I was really at the point where this was just getting to be a sappy ghost love story. It is not. This is getting creepy. This is sending chills up my spine. This was fun. I was at that point, like when you watch a scary movie and you start like yelling at the screen, like, get out of there, get out of there, just hang up the phone, leave, run, that's kind of where I was at with this read. Very fun. I can't wait to see where Scotty Young takes this, because I don't think this is going to be a very long series at all. But that leads us into basically the big chunk of books this week, which were the Marvel Star Wars books and Star Wars 18, this Rebels cover. I love Chopper. I really love Chopper. I got to be honest with you guys. Chopper is my favorite droid in the Star Wars universe. Besides the murder droids that follow around Afra, this is a great cover. And I wasn't picking up any of the Star Wars variants, but I couldn't leave this one behind. Had to have that one for the collection. Then we've got the Star Wars 18 issue, which now that we're on the recap and I can talk about it for a minute, there's a little bit of, not spoilers, a little bit of cliffhanger. There's a little tidbit of something that happens at the end of this that you're going to be, oh, wait a second. Wait, no. That was War of the Bounty Hunters. My bad. See, there's so much Star Wars stuff going on that I can't remember exactly. So it was War of the Bounty Hunters. Planet Arizona Comics. Just search ComicManAndy. YouTube channel is ComicManAndy. IG is ComicManAndy. I'm on TikTok as ComicManAndy. There's the other announcement I was trying to remember. I opened up a TikTok account. We've been having fun with there. It's going to be a really good time just finding new ways to create content over there as well. Thank you, Paul Dunn, man, for dropping that link. Really appreciate you, brother. So War of the Bounty Hunters. So there's a little bit more of information about Valence there. I've actually really been digging these covers. It's like the backside of the trading card variant, not trading card variant, but the action figure variant. And then if I didn't already knock over all the other books, the other Lucasfilm variant for War of the Bounty Hunters issue 17 was fantastic. This Thrawn. Is this an homage? You guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this was an homage to something, or maybe it's kind of, I don't know. Walter gave up on all Star Wars. I'm not far from giving up on Star Wars, not giving up necessarily, but cutting way back to just like reading Vader and why am I going to do this to myself, but possibly reading Afra. Afra's Wong. I'm sorry, Wong, but Wong, the Afra just needs to be fleshed out better for that series. Really, seriously. So then we've got the cover A of War of the Bounty Hunters, and it was, I believe it was at the end of War of the Bounty Hunters. There's a bit of a cliffhanger, yes, it was, where it was quite interesting to see how that played out. How do I talk about it without spoiling it for you guys? If you're a Star Wars fan, just at least read it digitally or something like that and check it out. Did not expect that ending, to be honest with you. And then the black and white variant cover is there as well. So that's the quick recap of the books. Before we start running too much longer here, we're going to hit this chat again and then the announcements. Yes, there's opened up a TikTok account. I'm experimenting with that, learning the platform. So you guys can follow me on TikTok. I'm ComicManAndy on TikTok as well, just like IG and just like YouTube. So like we said, announcement wise, C2E2 is coming up. Going to play around with an actual gimbal now to try to record some really, really cool panning shots and other things. I don't really have a lot of ideas besides getting out there and trying stuff and hoping that creates some ideas. But yes. And then Whatnot auctions. I got to get back into that groove of doing Fridays because I miss hanging out and partying down here in the comic dojo and slinging some books. It's been a ton of fun doing that. It's been, what, a 2-3 week break? I might do a mini pop-up one this Friday, and they're always going to be scheduled for about 8:30 at night. That's just kind of what my schedule allows and what's available. So good to see you. Thanks for the recap, Andy. Solo Wookie, good to see you as well. Thanks for popping in and being here. Thank you very much, man. Going to see Eternals this weekend. I might. Regardless of what the critics are saying about Eternals, I might slip out of the house while the family's taking a nap or something and go try to check that out and just by myself. There's something I've learned as an adult that just because the rest of the family can't necessarily go do something doesn't mean I can't drop what I'm doing and go by myself. So I might just buy a ticket just for myself here. Saturday, Paul says, oh boy, yes, come for Andy's package, stay for Luke's dad joke, something about the wording. Oh God, yeah. Vader is the only one I still read, and Vader's been really good. Was that Charles Soule, right? That's been a really good read. Luke, I'm impressed, sir. Those are truly dad-worthy jokes. Oh, what did I miss? You are welcome, Planet Arizona Comics. I'm doing the chat backwards. Puppy, go. Get out of there. Go. Got a dog trying to get into my long box down there, or my short box, sorry. Yes, ComicManAndy is the IG handle. What do you call an illegally parked frog? Oh, Jesus, I gotta please, for the love of God, message that one to me. That is fantastic. I remember that. Why are balloons so expensive? Inflation. That's one of my favorites as well. C2E2 next year, Friday, August 5th through Sunday, August 7th. We will be getting, so did they announce that? Or is that official yet? Can I book a hotel based on that yet? I don't even know if I can go that far out in the hotel booking catalog, but book it. Either way, like C2E2 is a convention we're never going to miss again. Motor City is a convention we're never going to miss again. And Baltimore is a convention we're never going to miss again. In fact, next year for Baltimore, we're probably going to set something up as if the schedules will allow and things aren't so tight and so close together. The CEO of the Comic Dojo wants to go to Baltimore, and I think we're talking about, well, at that point, if you've got two adults that are willing to drive and you split up the drive is the nightmare part. It really is if you're doing it by yourself. We'll see, because 2 plane tickets, I mean, just throwing one extra person in a car that you're already taken isn't that much more. I don't know. I digress. That's, future Andy problems to figure out right there. Isn't NYCC October 6th through 9th? I don't know. New York Comic Con is one of those ones that I'll probably never make it to. It would have to be like a super cheap plane ticket and like a 1 or 2 day turn and a decent hotel there. I'm not going to say I'm never going to go to New York Comic Con, because you got Kavi, you got Paul, you got a lot of great people out in New York that I'd love to meet and hang out. It would be a very comfortable experience meeting like basically really close friends from YouTube and IG out there. You know, it's going to a foreign place where you don't have any people. That's where it get, you know, not foreign place, but I mean, going to a place you've never been before and you have no friends, no family, that's where it gets uncomfortable. But when you go to a town like New York City and you've got people like Paul over in that area and you've got plenty of other people that are going to be there, I'm not going to rule it out, but it's not on the radar for next year in 2022. But either way, Ricky Markstad, thanks for being here. Good to see you, man. We just closed out the show. We're just ending up right now. We got to hop over to the Whatnot app here in about 10, 12 minutes, 15 minutes for Strange Tales to collect. His auction is going down, and we're doing a seller interview over there for a little bit. Why does Hulk do most of his recycling at Avengers Tower? Because he likes to go green. Good gravy. Come on, man. Absolutely. Had enough yet, Paul? I'm a shady character, he says. I am excited to see many of you at C2E2. So goals for C2E2. I'm already lining these up. We're going to have to do group shots. We're going to have to do photos with everybody and then do a big group photo. My hope is that they still have the yard going on. If they still have the yard going on, then it's easy to have a centralized location for everybody to meet up and have a pint or have a cold beverage and hang out. The yard was fantastic in 2020 when they did it. Yeah, that was the beginning of 2020. And you can catch the recap of C2E2, the last con, over on Bear Island Comics YouTube channel. He did a fasting video over there. I'll be there Saturday too, Mama. Daywalker, that is fantastic. My wife and I will be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I don't think the con's doing anything on, I don't think the con is open to everybody on Thursday, but we're going to be there on Thursday. We're going to be there for 4 days. That is a convention you cannot do in 1 day, and I'm pretty sure I couldn't do it in 2 days. So we're doubling down. We're going for all 4 days that we can do. If not, party in my room, he says. That's got to be a big room. There's going to be a ton of people there. So once again, thank you, everybody, for coming out for New Comic Book Day Wednesday here on the ComicManAndy YouTube channel. You guys are fantastic, right? This is a ton of great energy. You guys have revitalized me tonight to get through the rest of my work week, and hopefully we've brought you guys some good energy talking about some comic books over here. As one of these days, she is bugging me to buy a new chair, and I will buy a new chair. I promise. I swear to God, I'll buy a new chair. But every time I get to the point of buying a new chair, I find a comic book that I really want to buy. Either way, I digress. Speaking of comic books, this connective tissue that is comic books is fantastic, right? It really is. But the most fantastic part every week are all of you that are here in the live chat, leaving comments, catching the replay, hanging out, guiding me to books that I should be reading, and hopefully I'm potentially guiding you to some books that I've really enjoyed that you guys might like, right? So it's not necessarily about being in the chat because it's the same books every week that you guys enjoy, but it's like people are filtering in, hopefully finding things that they didn't get to read or that they might be interested in. So some kind of spoiler-free review, so to speak, to get people energized, because I know a lot of you guys don't get to pick up your books until Thursday or Friday. So definitely not trying to spoil any books for anybody here, but definitely hoping to get people excited for some fun reads, right? So once again, thank you, everybody. You guys are the most fantastic thing about this every week, every day, all the time. It really is. But, you know, the most important part, to be honest with you and real with you guys, is stay original and take care of each other every week. So I'm going to peace out. I'm going to pinkies out. I'm going to catch y'all on the flip side for the next one. And don't forget, like I said, stay original and take care of each other. That's the most important message I love bringing out every week. See you guys on the next one.
Be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes.
Excuse me while I change. The holler boogie has made me sweaty. Yeah, sweaty. I love gold. I love gold. I love gold.